solution engineer here at Kubit. You've invested heavily in collecting your customer journey data, yet actionable insights may still feel out of reach. Kubit changes the game, connecting directly to your data warehouse to deliver transparent, trustworthy analytics with no black boxes and no waiting. What makes Kubit special is our ability to connect directly to your cloud data warehouse so that every report created is built on your central source of truth. This is especially valuable for B2B businesses, as there's often data living in other parts of the warehouse that are necessary to tell the full story. Things like subscription status, support tickets, feature requests, and annual recurring revenue. Being able to connect all of these things up using our data modeler makes it possible to connect the dots between what users are doing in your product and how their overall health is within your business. Once data is connected to Kubit, you're able to build rich visualizations and reports that can be put on dashboards or scratch pads and collaborated and shared with others. In this example, we're going to look at a primary KPI dashboard in Kubit and see some of the things that you can build using your own cloud data warehouse data. So first, we want to look at our kind of North Star metric here, which is our rolling 7-day average of users per client. We've got it separated by our different tiers. We have enterprise grade and commercial. We can see that our enterprise customer base is staying relatively steady, but our commercial group has actually spiked pretty significantly. We don't understand why just yet, so we want to use this dashboard to get a better, deeper look at what might be going on here and the impact of it. We can also look at things as a metric to understand changes over time, but this report here is what we call query. It's going to be your typical time series report, and it's going to let you visualize things as a bar chart, line chart, etc. The great thing about Kubit is it allows for exploration of your data. You don't have to write any SQL or ask an analyst to build you a custom data model. Every report in Kubit has SQL under the hood so that you can see exactly how it's being constructed and have full transparency. The next thing we want to look at is possibly an onboarding trend. So in Kubit, you can build funnels, which are going to be steps in conversion through different parts of your product. In this example, we've got an onboarding funnel of a main landing visit to successfully logging in, setting the profile, and then visiting the welcome page. This is important to understand how new users are adding themselves to your service and if they're running into points of friction. We can see that our enterprise conversion rate is about 79% over the last 7 days, and our commercial group is at about 24%. Now, if we look at this spike here, what we want to understand is, does it also correlate with a spike in our onboarding flow? Now, typically I may had to have an analyst go out and create a special report for me and tweak this logic slightly. But when you're using a tool like Kubit, you can just simply click into it, and now me as an individual, even though I didn't build this report, I have the ability to come and modify it to get me the answers that I need. This lets me do that quick exploration that I mentioned before. I'm dropped into our report builder, which is how users can come in and construct things like queries, funnels, paths, etc. In this example, all I want to do is simply change this granularity of time from all time to daily so that I can see if this conversion rate has been consistent or I notice a spike or a significant change in those last 3 days of the week. When I execute a report in Kubit, I'm effectively running a SQL query against the warehouse, so I'm always sure to get the most recent and up-to-date data back. Now I can see my commercial group here is highlighted in orange, and quickly looking, now I have a funnel for every day of the week. I can see that historically my conversion rate in step 2 has been roughly 86%, but unfortunately on 6.3, that dropped pretty significantly down to 17% and then stayed low. So what this means is that influx of users in my different customers are hitting a block and not able to successfully log in. The next area that I could check is possibly support tickets and what new customers are being brought online that may be causing this. I could even continue investigating further by clicking into these data points and creating a cohort of these users or inspecting them and getting down to the raw lines of data. This gets me to the very heart of the information that I'm trying to look for, again, without writing SQL or asking an analyst to pull numbers for me. And once I find this interesting, I could actually add this to what we call a scratch pad or simply share this link with a member of my team so that we can continue investigating together. Going back into our dashboard, I can look even more at some of the results that I've got here around my engagement analysis to see if things like creating a document or sharing a comment are also experiencing the same fluctuation. One important item here is that we have support tickets plugged into Kubit, so I can understand if certain support topics are spiking. The can't log in topic seems to be relatively steady, so perhaps it's not even something that's made it to support yet, and users are suffering in silence. I can also look at KPIs as a crosstab to understand just top-level metrics, and retention analysis to understand if different activity and behavior reduces churn and drives engagement. For example, a user creating a document has roughly the same retention as the overall. However, somebody that shares a document has vastly better engagement and retention over time. So in my onboarding flow, maybe I need to incentivize users or at least let them know that they're able to share things because I see it highly correlates with stickiness. Lastly, I can look at the path users take in my product and understand if there's points of friction or drop off, or simply are users doing the things I expect them to do. Now, all of this is well and good, but in Kubit, you can also do things like explain the results of these reports using our built-in AI called Lumos, as well as create reports with natural language so that you can really shorten the process of getting to the answers. Better yet, we've got a full chat experience as well that lets you create conversational and investigative analysis using natural language and AI, adding those things to different dashboards, scratch pads, etc. Going back to our main dashboard here, there's a lot more to show you and a ton more to offer on our product. We love the chance to show you in person and even try it out with your own data. Thank you.